What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/TalesFromTheCustomer. This story's called No Peppers! This is gonna be long, but here's the absolutely worst restaurant experience I've ever had. My boyfriend and I have a favorite Thai spot that we get takeout from about once a month. We each have a favorite dish, and our order is the same every time. I get this delicious curry with pork, a very fragrant sauce, and lots of vegetables. It's my favorite thing on the menu. However, I absolutely hate bell peppers. I can't explain, but they repulse me. The first time I ever ordered this, I ordered it without peppers. They made it correctly and I really enjoyed it. Every single time since the first time, they have put peppers in the dish. The first few times, I just removed the peppers painstakingly with my fork and went on about my day. But the flavor was still very strong. So, every time since then, no matter how clear I make it at the onset of the order, they always make it with peppers. And I always have to send it back. Cut to yesterday. I was leaving work and we decided to order Thai takeout and stay home to watch the Oscars. Boyfriend calls, places order, and I was to pick it up and pay on my way home from work. No big deal. My work is about 30 minutes from the restaurant, so we placed the order right as I left work. They quoted about 20 minutes, so I figured it'd be perfect timing for me to get there. When I first got to the restaurant, there was some commotion in the back. About 4 or 5 cooks were running frantically around the kitchen trying to cook dishes, but the restaurant itself was empty, save for 2 tables of 2 people each. There was only one cashier who was also waiting tables, and she had a sack of about 10 takeout orders and seemed very flustered. It's business as usual at first. I walk up to the counter, give her my name, and she can't locate my order.
Sir, I don't have anything for your name.
She looks through all the tickets, checks in the kitchen, and nothing. No biggie, I think. I call my boyfriend just to make sure he had ordered from the right location. He confirms he did. We check the tickets again, no order for my name. So I just decide to place another order. She tells me it'll be a while because the kitchen is overwhelmed. No biggie, I can wait. I order my boyfriend's order and mine with no peppers, pay for the order, and take a seat to wait. About 5 minutes later, she finds my ticket, the original ticket. Apparently, they made my boyfriend's noodles, put them in a to-go container with no lid, and then put the ticket, the actual paper ticket, on top of his noodles, touching the food. And then someone had placed someone else's to-go order on top of that one, so the bottom of the other person's food was soaked in my boyfriend's noodles, and the ticket basically melted in his noodles. The cashier figures this out, is mortified, apologizes profusely, and then gets me an order of spring rolls to enjoy while I wait.
I'm so sorry, sir.
No big deal, I tell her, and since they're already working on my second order anyway, I just let it go. So far, so good. Around this time, she delivers an order of pad thai to a girl who is dining in. The girl sticks her fork in the dish and then realizes that wasn't her food, so she tells the cashier, and the cashier delivers that order that already had the fork in it to the table where it actually belonged. The people whose pad thai it actually was saw this happened and then also sent it back. And this apparently broke their kitchen. All of a sudden, we hear screams, pots banging, loud yelling in Thai. And at this time, naturally, a long line of about 6 or 7 customers walked in for takeout orders. Pandemonium! The poor cashier is now trying to get the line moving, but the orders are coming hot and she can't keep up. In the chaos, I see my boyfriend's new order of noodles be put on the counter, again with no lid. It sat there, getting cold for nearly 10 minutes until my food came out. Cashier looks at it, realizes they made it with bell peppers, and sends it back. People in line are now getting angry at how long the whole thing is taking. About 10 more minutes pass. At this point, I am fully expecting to have to microwave the noodles as they've been sitting there for a long time. My new, remade order finally comes out. She cheers and calls me up, starts to package it, and then realizes, yup, made with peppers again. At this point, she takes it back through the window, and the cook starts yelling at her again. And then I literally, physically, actually see the cook dig her fingers through my food, pull out all the peppers, and hand it back to the cashier. At this point, I was so over the entire thing, and I knew asking for my food to be remade would have me in there for another 45 minutes. So I just said, never mind, I'll just take a refund.
I'm sorry, sir, she said. For a refund, I have to call the credit card company.
She was very well-intentioned, but I just walked out without any food and $40 in the hole. Then end. So close. I don't think there was a single typo. Then the last two words. Oh no. That just sounds like an incredibly frustrating experience. There's this one Japanese restaurant that's near me, and they have messed up my order so many times, it is ridiculous. I'm pretty sure I've only been there one time where they haven't screwed it up, and it's really frustrating, because I'm just trying to eat something and chill out, but then the freaking order's wrong, so I've got to I've got to wait for it to be fixed. But I'd say this is far worse. This story's called The One Time I Nearly Became That Guy Online, but I believe it would have been justified. When I say that guy, I mean the one all the employees know because they left a scathing review even after being provided great service. But this is a great lesson in how the actions of a single employee can turn a loyal customer completely against a business. So this was about 2.5 years ago, but it still upsets me to think about. Shortly after my wife and I got married, we decided to upgrade her current gaming setup to something a bit more modern. As in anything better than a laptop barely capable of playing anything at the lowest settings. We went to a local store for a regional chain that's pretty good about custom computers and whatnot. And they set her up with a pretty nice desktop that she's been happy about to this day. Overall, we were very happy with the service and the product. Where the rest of this story comes in, though, is the side benefit they offered. They had a promotion going on where if you bought a new PC, they'd do a phone repair for you free of charge. At the time, I had an iPhone 6 a childhood friend had given me when he upgraded phones that had a slight crack around the earpiece and a broken speaker, so it was really difficult to hear anything without something like a Bluetooth. Not something so bad the phone was unusable, so I had never bothered to repair it. But after dropping well over $1,000 on a new rig for my wife, I was gonna take them up on the offer to fix it for free. After delaying a couple of weeks due to holidays and parts not arriving, I finally got it in with them. It was fixed and worked just fine. Until the battery started to wear out so bad, I'd literally be losing charge while it was plugged in while playing Pokemon Go. But that's a different story. Well, so far it sounds like I've received nothing but high-quality service, right? I certainly hope so. Then, a few days later, I get an email from Google which says, "Thank you for your recent review," which I found strange because I didn't recall leaving any reviews recently. Actually, I've never left a review, so why is Google thanking me? Well, I went to go look at it, and sure enough, this is what the 5-star review said. "Just got my phone repaired and they did a fantastic job. Thanks, employee name." Oh, I was incised. Not that they didn't actually do a great job, but that she'd have the audacity to post something in my name. I mean, apart from the wildly unethical business practice of submitting reviews in the names of customers who left their electronics with you, it's ground for potential litigation. People are getting sued over leaving bad or fake reviews these days. What if she'd gone and trashed a competitor I'd never done business with? Or several? I was completely outraged. And if not for my wife talking me down, I would have gone and changed the review to trash them, then filed a complaint with the Better Business Bureau. Eventually, all I did was simply delete the review and warn people about them on Facebook. About 10 months after this debacle, the hard drive on my wife's computer mysteriously crashed, and since it was still under warranty, I begrudgingly took it back to the store to see what could be recovered and get it replaced. After turning it over, I got to talking with an employee about the incident. But he'd only been there a few months, and while apologetic over it all, had no idea who I was talking about. The store manager happened to be nearby and eavesdropping, though, and politely inserted himself into the conversation by asking what the employee's name was. I told him, and a look of instant recognition came across his face, and not a good one. He told me that he thought it was her I was referring to, and that she'd been fired a while ago because apparently I wasn't the first person she'd done this with, along with other problematic behavior. He then went out of his way to apologize and make sure I was okay with everything. Turned out the hard drive couldn't be salvaged, and true to the warranty, they replaced it for free. Not sure if I'll ever go back there, as even though they took action against the problem employee, it left a really bad taste in my mouth. But yeah, don't post reviews in your customers' names. Wow, that's actually really creepy. People who work in tech repair and stuff like that, how often do people's stuff get snooped into by employees? That's something I'm interested in knowing, and what do you recommend doing to prevent that from happening to you? Because that's not cool. I mean, personally, I don't really care if someone goes through my junk because, I guess there is credit card information on Google and stuff. But anyway, what do you recommend doing? Some people might not be okay with that. This story's called Treated Like a Guilty Thief Without Proof. Fair warning, I'm using mobile. So this happened around this time last year. I was picking up my regular necessities at a store downtown when I had the most uncomfortable experience of my life as a customer. I paid, said goodbye, and started to walk out, when suddenly the thief alarms went off. So I immediately turned back around to face the cashier. I expected her to go,
"Oh, they've been acting up all day."
Or worst case, they go through my bags only to see no stolen items and be done with it. She did call me back to go through my bags, my wallet, you name it, until she eventually found a lipstick. My lipstick in my wallet. She held it up annoyingly in my face with this smirk, as if she was thinking,
"Caught ya."
The only problem was, however, that the lipstick had been sitting in my wallet for nearly a year at that point. Almost empty, roughly used. So I said, "That's mine though. Look, it's almost empty and doesn't even look good in shape." I hoped that would be the end of it all. But oh no. Here's the cast, there's me.
"Cashier."
"Security guard." "Manager."
"That doesn't matter. We sell those here, so how can I know it's yours?"
Because of what I just said? Look at it. Half the stickers are missing and there's dust from the wallet in its place.
"Well, how long have you had it then? And where did you buy it?"
Nearly a year ago. At store in mall name.
"Do you have the receipt?"
Do I carry the receipt for a $10 lipstick I bought a year ago? No, I really don't. At this point, I was getting really anxious because on top of it all, she was talking so loudly that other customers stopped and gave me dirty looks before walking away.
"Fine, I'm gonna call security."
Okay, that's fine. Security comes over after a few minutes.
"I caught this girl stealing one of our lipsticks. She says it's old, but it triggers our thief alarm, so obviously."
Trying not to sound too annoyed, I say, I have no idea why it does that. I've been carrying this around for a year. I don't know why it would suddenly start now.
Well, I'm gonna have to check the security cameras. Come with me.
We go to the back room together.
So you're telling me that I won't find anything on these tapes?
No, you'll see me picking up shampoo and hand soap. I didn't even stop in the makeup section. He rolls his eyes.
If you say so.
We checked the cameras, and naturally, they didn't find anything. So then,
well, fine, but we gotta find out why it triggers the alarms, so we're going back to the register.
We walk back out.
We want to press charges.
There was nothing on the cameras.
But it triggered the alarms. It's gotta be from here.
Finally, another employee clocks in, sees the commotion, and asks what the fuss is about. I assume it was the manager, because he was a lot more sensible. Cashier and security explained, so then he takes the lipstick and scans it, something the first girl should have done from the beginning. The manager turns to Cashier, looking dumbfounded.
This isn't even from our stock.
But we sell the same ones and it triggers the alarms.
Look, it doesn't even look new. It's almost empty, for God's sake. It's not from our stock. And you see this metal sticker right here? That's what triggered the alarm. It must have been magnetized again sitting in her wallet. It can happen. Just demagnetize it and give it back.
Cashier does so with a grunt and hands it back to me.
Well, you gotta leave your phone number and name so we can press charges if anything's missing from our stock.
I just stood there, speechless and upset, as the manager and security guard shook their heads and told me, "You can go." 3 factors pissed me off. I felt like I was being treated like I was guilty from the get-go. I was treated as such in front of many customers in a small town I bartended in. So I just kept thinking, they're all gonna think I'm a thief now. And third, after all this, I didn't even get an apology from anyone. Just, "You can go," while I was shaken up and speechless. All this over a $10 used lipstick. See, in a case like this, I would say complain to corporate because, well, that's just ridiculous. This story's called The Time I Made a Cashier Cry by Being Reasonable. I just got reminded of this. A few years ago, I had stopped by a well-known fast food place on my way home to get breakfast for everyone. I get to the counter and make my order, and then when she asked if there was anything else, I decided that since I was there, I'd get some ice cream. She took a deep breath, grabbed the counter, and said,
I'm sorry, the ice cream machine is down.
I shrugged and said, okay, I'll have a type pie then. Why didn't they just apple pie? She looked at me, her eyes got wide and watered, and soon she was outright sobbing. I had no idea what I'd done. The manager came out to see what was wrong, as she very well should have, and I explained the situation. Then I said, is it the pie? Are you out of pie too? It's okay, I probably shouldn't be eating sweets anyway. And the cashier just sobbed harder. The manager gave her a comforting hug and said, sorry, the guy in front of you was a real jerk. I read all these posts about people trying to stay afloat emotionally during this pandemic and think, I hope they're doing okay. Aw, that poor girl. I know how it is. Someone's a jerk to you, and so you put your guard up, and then as soon as someone's nice to you, your body's like, okay, time to be vulnerable now, and then you break down crying. Like when you're a little kid and you trip and fall down in the parking lot, and you're fine. You're absolutely fine. You wouldn't cry because of the pain, but then someone's like, oh, are you okay? And then you start crying, like, damn your sympathy! Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.